Welcome to the Weekly Blend, your source for everything TV, movie, and video game related. I'm Lasse Lund.
I'm Corey Burris.
And I'm Greg Santee.
Speaking of,
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption from Rockstar.
I want to play that right now,
I know,
actually.
I want to be playing it right now. And it is a Western tale, which, Greg, you don't like Westerns.
I don't
but
like Westerns.
phenomenal game.
It's
Which
open
we had to
world.
convince you to buy it.
No, you tried to, and you didn't convince me. The official trailer release convinced me. 'Cause
Way
I
to
didn't
go.
read
Who
the
made you
trailer.
watch the official trailer?
There
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
you guys. Okay.
Credit where credit's due, Greg.
Listen, the story in this thing is way more than I thought it was going to be. I thought it
Dude,
was
it's
gonna,
Rockstar.
But let's be honest. I never played Grand Theft Auto 4. I played previous titles, which sucked to me.
I thought
hated
Vice
them.
City had a pretty cool story.
I did not like them, but like the ones previous. But it was more story for a Western style game than I expected it. I'll say.
Sure.
But the way they tell the story, like when you're riding around and the dialogue that's
Yep.
happening between, I love the way
They have
it
cool
is.
dialogue in the game.
Very cool dialogue. Very very Western, obviously. Miss, ma'am or whatever. But
They did
it's
a pretty good job nailing. Maybe
all
not.
the,
maybe
all
it's
the
not,
stereotypes
it's
of
not,
Westerns are in this game.
It's maybe not accurate, like historically accurate, but they did a good job nailing what people's perception of how
Yes.
Western people talked back in those
Yes.
days.
What
Yeah.
I love about it is that it's not set in like 1858 or something like
Right.
that. Like
Sure.
it is set in 1911, so you're on this verge. You see electrical wires up
Yeah.
in certain
There's
locations.
electrical lights and
and it's kind of interesting. What I love about it is it's an open world. You can go everywhere, but the world just feels real. There's things going on. There's
Yes.
other guys that are doing things on their own, and this is always the way Grand Theft Auto games have been. But
it makes me want to
even
go back
the
and play
animals-
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
No?
It has a lot of issues that this game addressed, which was like mid-mission saves. It gets really frustrating later on.
Anyway, you're saying animals. Keep going.
So like animals are they're hunting each other.
Yeah.
There's guys out there hunting animals. There's random events that just pop up in locations. Somebody will be in need of you, or they'll ambush you, or different things like that. And
There's
we and I have
always
talked about
something
this.
going on.
Like I have a hard time sticking to the storyline because
Yeah.
I want to go and there's these challenges and I'm trying to do the challenges and I'm just like I'm
You
pulled in
literally,
so many different ways.
It's hard to to ride your horse from one point to another without getting stopped in between.
I always get sidetracked.
I
yeah.
get sidetracked on so much that all of a sudden I see a pack of wolves. I'm like, I want to kill that entire pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Here we go, and I pull out my gun and start shooting them.
Last night I played for 2 hours and I did 2 missions.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was
You
like-
really have to be intentional about going and like I'm gonna progress the story. So you do
Yes.
a couple missions in a row, which is what I did last night. So
Yeah, I'm just like I'm blown away by the game overall. It has issues, but overall,
considering the scope
it's
of the world,
consuming. It's a
yeah.
consuming world.
I will say, as big as the world is, and as big as I thought it was going to be, it feels a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
I agree.
Too.
One thing though I love about the world is how beautiful it is. I mean, you
Oh
can.
my gosh.
I went up on a cliffside, a random cliffside. We were out in free roam, and
He shed a tear.
not a shit. I'm
You
not.
cry.
Maybe a little bit on the inside, but I mean, just looking at the water and like, I mean, they did a
Yes.
great job building landscape. I mean, it looks so freaking epic.
I saw a developer diary, and they were talking about that. How they were like they literally wanted it so that when you went up to a location, it looked like the pictures that
Yeah.
you think
Yep.
in your mind, and it totally
And they
does
succeeded.
That. And
Yeah.
it's sunrise to sunset, and even at night, it looks
Beautiful.
exactly like.
Now
what
you
think.
complained that it was
Done-
too dark. at
wait.
night.
It is too dark at night.
It's
I have
not at all
I have a
for me.
terrible glossy screen.
Oh, I thought Corey was complaining about it.
I complained about it not only because in certain areas, if you're looking, because sometimes you have to use the silhouette if you're fighting bad guys. Not
Right.
It
not
is hard to see
generally
bad guys
playing.
at
It's
night.
hard to see bad guys sticking their heads up because I would have to look for like the burst of gunfire,
Yep.
which
Kind of cool.
in and of itself is
It's
very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
So, but it,
I've yet to have a problem with that.
You guys encountered a thunderstorm yet?
Oh,
Oh my
my gosh.
Surround sound. It sounds
Probably
On the
as
level
close to
with
real
Left
as I've
4 Dead
ever
2.
seen. Yeah.
on the level with
Yes.
Left 4 Dead 2, like
except
where
for
you're-
more real.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
It is
and I mean, like, yeah,
beautiful.
the rain and the thunder in
Did
the
you
background.
notice that when the wind is blowing a little harder, any animations you do or anything you do, if it changes your camera perspective, your hair is blowing in the wind. Or if it's
yeah.
raining and it changes perspective, all of a sudden rain starts getting
Yep.
on the camera and because
Yeah.
it's looking up at you and you're in the rain still falling. No matter what action you're doing, the elements are always
Yep.
translated into them.
Yeah. The other great thing, the thing we were really excited about, is the free roam mode, which is the online multiplayer, and you essentially can jump in with 8 people, or actually up to 16 people into free roam, and join a posse or a group of 8 where you can all talk to each other, and then you can jump into multiplayer games against other people in that mode, or you can just go around and do these random encounters.
Yep.
And so you're jumping into the actual world. You can do your own challenges. We can all jump into one world and all go separate directions and do our own thing.
And still be talking to each other
And that's really cool. You can do the hunt. There's still challenges in that hunting and sharpshooting
A
challenges.
lot of the challenges.
well,
from
just the other
campaign.
night we decided to see how big our wanted meter could be as a posse. And
Yeah.
so we're all just
We
going around
started-
shooting lawmen and seeing
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah, and we
so.
just like last standing it and
And
kind
it's
of
like, you are now a public enemy.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
awesome.
I just I love that aspect of the game. It is wearing a little thin. There's not a lot to do in the free roam.
They're
mode.
addressing that though.
Exactly. They're gonna have some DLC coming out in
We're up to
early
4
June.
people. It's only up to 4 people that can do those missions.
Oh, okay. I don't
There's
know.
co-op. There's specific there's campaign missions. They're going to do I think it's 6 co-op missions.
Okay.
That 4 people can do in
If they
chunks.
can keep releasing stuff like that periodically, I think that's a great
I think
thing.
those are the initial 6 are free. They haven't said anything about payable DLC down the road.
So I want to talk about an issue I have with it, and it actually has to do with part of the menu system and the fast travel system.
Okay.
For campaign, fast travel for one, you can only do it when you're camping.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Which
don't understand
means
why
you
you can't do
can't-
it in your little house.
I know you should be able to do it from your bed. To be honest,
Yeah.
You can't camp. You can't camp when you're on a road, in a town, on ground that's not perfectly flat,
Yes, that's
or
annoying.
near an enemy hideout. So you're like, sometimes you're running out there and you're like, can I do it here? No. Can I do it here? No. Can I do it here? So you're trying
See, I've
to
never
find a
encountered
place
that.
to
I've
camp.
only encountered
that
it
happen.
when I've been in a city. I've camped on slightly uneven territory.
It won't let me. It says it has to be even ground and not near a river or a road.
Yeah, it has to be. There are certain areas that you'll find that you're like.
I
oh,
haven't
this is
I haven't
annoying.
encountered it.
So, and that's just for camping, which you can save it there or you can fast travel from there. That which brings me to my other issue, and that's menu system is saving it. You can only save when you're camping, and I think it's more for me is in the multiplayer because you never know when it's saved.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
or
I
unless
really struggle not knowing
so
when
you
I'm
have to fulfill and accomplish
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
For it to save, and then you can cut it out. Otherwise, it's like I lost everything.
Right.
Yep.
It's the
And
thing we
it's
talk
worse
about
in
when
multiplayer.
Borderlands came out. We always were like, I love that when I leave, it says, "Oh, I'm going to save before you
Yeah.
leave."
Yeah.
I feel like this game should say, "We're going to save for you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it,"
Yep.
and assure
But
me
the thing
that
is,
what I'm doing.
I don't
is
think
good.
it does. If you just exit, it doesn't. That's why.
No,
I
it
say that.
doesn't. That's why I was saying we like what Borderlands did in that
Yeah.
anytime you exit, it automatically
I want
saves.
to. Yeah. I really think the game should add that feature, even though the past ones have not.
That's
done
actually a really good point. Also, I think that the storyline overall is good, and the voice acting is incredible.
that. When
but
a guy's
it's
talking with
kind
a
of-
cigarette in his mouth, he sounds like he's got a cigarette in his mouth.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I just think that overall the storyline could have been
Explained better,
yeah.
because I feel like
You
it's a
kind of just
little
get dropped
open.
into this world, and they're explaining things as you're going along. But a lot of these were things that they revealed early on into development, where they're like, "This is the story, and this is kind of your storyline."
But if you hadn't heard that, like me,
yeah,
you have no idea what's going on. You don't realize the situation that this guy is in.
Well, but
Yeah.
reading what other people have said about it, they do say that there are certain plot twists that take place, and so all this
I
stuff.
played through a lot, and there's not been any big plot twists, which is
It's
I'm
probably
fine with.
later in the game.
Yeah.
But I feel like as much as we played, we're not very far in the story.
That's
Right,
true.
But there's a lot of dumb things that you do. I mean, again, getting back to like the storyline,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I can't help you until you go and rattle go get this horse
Yeah.
for me, and I'm like, why do you need a freaking horse? Like, just
It's
give me
very
the. I
much-
got a gun. Give me the gun.
I feel like
yeah.
it lengthened out some of the things by
But
saying,
that's
"Oh,
very typical of an open world.
No,
game
I
like
agree.
this.
I'm just saying that
I'll
like
help you
from a
if you help
story
me,
from a
and then-
storyline
Yeah.
standpoint, it is kind of contrived. Great game though.
amazing game."
I think we're gonna sink a lot of time into it over the few months. At the
Not
same
as
time,
much as I thought, but
yes,
yes.
yeah, especially.
Well,
in
we
the
kind of
multiplayer.
expected the multiplayer to kind of replace our current samplings that we play, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, I'm still enjoying the campaign. I still enjoy free roam, but I get the feeling that let's go back to play some of the other staples
Well,
that we go
I'm
back
gonna
to.
play Modern Warfare this weekend because of double
Double XP.
experience, and I miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
All right, you can always stay up with all the current news on any of these topics, movies, TV, and video games by going to our blog, theweeklyblend.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at /Lassalund.
/ Corey Burris.
/ Greg Santi.
And remember, you can, if you subscribe to our podcast, you also get our audio podcast each week, which we talk about all the news that's coming out for
Latest
that
news,
week.
yeah.
So it's an interesting discussion about things going on. We also give like our little thoughts on little news blurbs that are coming out. So make sure to check that out too.
So until next time, we're out.
Have you gotten your Game of Phone
No.
yet? Are you kidding me? Are you sure you're not like didn't miss your renewal?
No,
or
I
something?
went and renewed it.
You sure? You said nude.
I renewed it. You said nude.